political process. If someone comes out of the Federal Reserve, for example, and says, okay, you guys have done enough, you can trust us, we'll stop messing with your currency and so on, that's not going to be enough. We need some real restructuring of our political process.
So there's nothing anyone could say that would necessarily end the protest.
In case you missed that, I'm going to rewind. Okay.
It's okay to kind of come out of your homes, and if there really is something wrong with our political process, if someone comes out of the Federal Reserve, for example, and says, okay, you guys have done enough, you can trust us, we'll stop messing with your currency and so on, that's not going to be enough. We need some real restructuring.
One more time just to make sure we got it, okay?
We need to let people know that it's okay to kind of come out of your homes, and that there really is something wrong with our political process. If someone comes out of the Federal Reserve, for example, and says, okay, you guys have done enough, you can trust us, we'll stop messing with your currency and so on, that's not going to be enough. We need.
In case you didn't recognize that person, I'm going to rewind again.
And that there really is something wrong.
Then I'm going to pause at the right moment.
If someone comes out of the Federal Reserve, for example, and says, okay, you guys have done enough, you can trust us, we'll stop messing with your currency and so.
You recognize that person? I do. I don't know what they're saying right here, but I recognize the brother here. Amen.
That's not going to be enough. We need some real restructuring of our political process.
So there's nothing anyone could say that would necessarily end the protest at this point, right? It's just to raise awareness?
Right. We're looking for action, but again, the first part is to talk about that.
Well, some of the things we said in the previous stories, it's being perceived as an attack on the rich. These people earn their money. They pay most of the taxes. 1%, top 1% pay most of the taxes. Top 5%, 50% of Americans pay no tax. So what is it that they're doing wrong?
Well, I want to make it clear that the Occupy movements in over 1,000 cities across the world are not anti-wealth, and we're not anti-corporation. We just think that there needs to be a restructuring of the political process so that if you have more money, you don't get more of a say in the political process. So, for example, we need to start closing some of these corporate tax loopholes that allow big corporations to go elsewhere overseas with their army of various financial analysts and not reinvest that money in the American economy. That's a huge problem. We also need to start making sure that, for example, the people who write our legislation are not former employees of the industries that they're supposed to be regulating. So the so-called revolving door policy, we really need to make sure that the other people in this process, the other 99%, are being heard.
Now, I don't know about in the other cities, like in New York, they've been accused of being totally unfocused and having like a whole list of demands. You guys have OccupyChi.org,
right.
and you have a list of 12 grievances, but it's interesting. It goes from everything of the things you've mentioned, but it's also, you want all student debt forgiven.
Mm-hmm.
Is that realistic, do you think? And who would pick up the debt?
Right. Well, I want to make clear that the grievances that we have on our website are not completely agreed upon yet. There's something that has been proposed.
Okay.
And we have 2 general assemblies where everyone gets together, we discuss these issues, and we vote on them. The student debt issue, I believe our student debt in this country comes around $900 billion, somewhere around that area, whereas the bailouts for the banks was over $13 trillion. And it seems very interesting that we have hundreds of billions of dollars for subsidies for big oil companies. We have trillions of dollars to throw at these banks who don't really want to invest the money back into our economy. Our infrastructure is failing. Our schools are turning to garbage because of there's no
I hear what you're saying. Let me ask you quick because we're running out of time. Do you think what happened on Wall Street is criminal?
Yes, I do.
You think it should be prosecuted?
Well, I think we need to prosecute people for the fraud and the mortgage crisis, and we need to understand that it's not about Democrat or Republican. The real political decisions are made on Wall Street, not Washington.
Okay, Sam Abrahamson, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Sam.
How's it going out there? You camping in tents, or where are you spending the night? How you eating? What are you doing?
Well, we're not allowed to sleep according to city ordinances, so we have people coming in shifts over the night.
All right. Well, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sam.